welcome back to the channel. So I've not been around much recently, but I'll endeavour to get more videos out this year. Got some really good projects coming up. This project here behind me, I've got 2 hand-worthy pure welds to take out. I've got 2 cylinders to take out. We're putting another Viessmann Vitodens 200 on a chimney kit in, but this time a little bit different. We've got 3 circuits to do. We've got downstairs, upstairs, and a tail rail circuit, which we're all going to run through the boiler. Now this system here, believe it or not, has been hashed along the gears, and it's all running on one hive. Crazy. We've got 80 kilowatts here going through this flue. It's got a fan on top of the chimney, which is, I don't know if you can hear in the background, quite noisy. So that's going to be all disconnected. We've got a boost set coming in. These are vented, these cylinders. So we're going to be putting boost set in to give a better flow rate upstream for showers and things like that. Just a better hot water performance throughout the whole property. But let me give you a run through of this, what we've got now and what we're going to do moving forward. So this is the current setup that we've got at the moment. We've got 2 hand-worthy pure welds, 2 vented cylinders, and we've got a series of pipework. Now I think back in the day when this would have all been installed, it wouldn't have been a bad setup. We've got a mixer in there, it's been put on a reverse return, which is great. Tail rails onto the hot water, but over the years sensors and various other things have been disconnected, controls have been hashed, and it's now just running on a hive, which I think is crazy. This flue comes through this side of the basement. Got a proven switch going back to an air pressure switch just there. In case the fan fails on the chimney, it will shut the boilers down. And then we've got all our pipe work which runs to the property underneath the stairs and distributes everywhere. Now this customer is wanting to change this all purely and simply for better running costs, because these are chewing through the gas. He's also noticed that the hot water pressures are terrible, especially in the ensuite, which they use daily. It's just embarrassing. So he says, right, he's not been here that long, I want a fresh start, I want a decent system, what can you offer? So we went through the different options. So we're going for a singular Vitodens 200, which will go here. I'm going to build a frame just here to put my div cons on, cylinder here, and then luckily this cupboard here is where I'm going to house my boost set, gas meter nearby, which is great, and we have a cold main down here. So that's going to fill the boost set, and then I'll flip the pipework around. So where our feed coming down is, that will be our feed for the cold going back up into the property. Bonus here for me is the system is already pressurised on the radiators, so I've not got to worry about any leaks. So today I'm just here to offload all the equipment. So I've got a whole delivery of all my bits and bobs. There's my chimney kit and other flue bits. This is my distribution header for the div con sit on. I'm just taking some measurements to work out my bracketry requirements. I'm going to build a bespoke frame here. So today's just a planning day, and then next time you see me, I'll be back. We'll be drilling down, ripping out. So I'm just planning what my install is going to look like. And it's something along these lines. First of all, I'd like to identify what we've got, where and what size. So they're all my pipes that eventually go through this wall that way. So I know what they all are, where they're going roughly. This is the frame I was talking about, which I'm going to build. So I've taken measurement floor to ceiling, how wide I want my frame to be, and the fixing points where my distribution header will hang off. So I know exactly what I need to do on this and what I can do to quantify it all. Then I've just made a list of more accurate materials, pump unions and things like that. I'm going to have to pump the condense out on this. Now, lucky for me, through there, roughly here, on the other side of this wall, is a hopper. That is the nearest drain I've got, as we are subterranean. Ground level is here, but then it also lifts ground level in here, probably about here. So, yeah, I've got to pump the condense away. So yeah, planning stage is kind of the most important. That's how my install's going to roughly look in my mind. And yeah, and start getting things ordered in and get back on site when I come, so I can hit the ground running when I arrive back. Here we go. Right, we are stripped out. Only took us 2.5 hours. Stripped, cleaned. We carry on. So, first job now is to get the frame up for the boiler. We're just going to go to the right. I'm going to get a brickie to tidy that old hole up. We're left with the bare bones now, blank canvas. Got to leave that for the moment. That is our old cold feed down to the cylinders. That is currently live, but we're isolated on that valve there. Gas has got to remain live. It's going up to the Arga. Bit of a difference already though, isn't it? Pleased. I'm going to move that as well because I don't like that expansion vessel up there. It's probably going to live down behind the boiler. Going to get its frame built. And there we go. That's all of the scrap outside, ready for collection. It's going. Beast. Right. Blank canvas starts. Got the Stuart Turner boost set in the corner, sitting quite nicely. Boiler on its frame. All the pipework around the back. So my idea was to leave room down the back of the boiler. I'm going to put all the divcoms on a frame here. So I'll leave access around the back to do any maintenance, and it's easier to get to all the pipework. Boiler at a nice height to maintain and service. Flue's going to come over through this wall horizontally, and then I've got to get chimney liner up through there. So a good start today. Got a bit further than I thought it would actually. Right, day 2. So we've got boost set in and filled, all connected to the combi block, just the PRV to do. Got balance cold going out to our old feed down, which is on that. Got feed going into the bottom of the cylinder, happy days. And now I've just finished my frame to hold the divcoms. So we've got low loss header at the bottom. There's a sensor here, distribution header. So I'm going to have my downstairs circuit upstairs circuit and then tail rail circuit on the end. And then underneath I'm going to have air separator, dirt separator going back to the boiler. And then I'll probably use this at the back of the channel maybe for a bit of pipework coming down. Still don't know how I'm going to get over to these yet. I've not really thought about it. Make that up as I go along. Got a secondary hot water pump in. I've not returned the head to the right way yet. Designed it in a way that we've got enough gap down the back for access for maintenance to the expansion vessel. Yeah, so overall, we're starting to take shape already. Billy's had enough. Ready to walk off the job. That gut's not getting any smaller either. Yeah, stay tuned for more. Day 3. So my frame is built and complete. Got my div cons mounted. I've got my flow return from the boiler into the low loss header. Had a bit of a tidy up in here as well. Makes life a little bit easier and less stressful. So next stage for me is to bring these flow returns over from div cons. What I've done is I've got a bracket on here fixed to the frame and the ceiling, nice and solid, and I'm going to put rubber line clips over, and I can bring these over round down the wall and then find what's coming through, and then get rid of all of that lot, get rid of the gate valves. I'll spin this round, this pump round as well in a bit. So yeah, this is going to be the tougher part, is getting into this. I've got to separate this 28 and 35 so I can split upstairs downstairs. So that's going to be a bit trickier. We're not a lot pipe there next to the wall. And then I've got a tail rail circuit to figure out what I'm going to do with that to go up to this one. So whether I come up and over. And then I've got the electrics to think about as well. I might, where all these cables come back on this tray, I might bend a bit of tray over the ceiling, come down, and I'm going to have sockets on this side. And then my fuse spur for boiler and div cons on this side. Make it look nice and uniform. And then today I'm going to concentrate on getting these flow returns here for the 4-pipe setup on for the cylinder, and I'll have the gas to figure out as well. I think I'm going to put some more rail down the back and send it all round long ways to the coil. Yeah, a bit of progress today. I'm going to do the flue tomorrow. It should come out here somewhere. That will come straight over and then there, and I've just got the cherry picker to get. Day 4. Right, I'm going to be honest, a bit stressed. Deliveries have let me down, so it's taken me a bit longer to get things done. But I've got heating circuits connected to the first 2 div cons, which is great. I've just now got to figure out the tail rail circuit. I'm going to go underneath on that one there. I've just got to bring the one from over there. I'm not too sure I'm going to do it yet. So I'm going to figure that out. The system is now full. Bypass in for mains to operate cylinder. The immersion's in. And we have got water. And now, interesting, the customer told us he had 2 shower pumps upstream. We found 2, and we just found a 3rd. Let me show you what we found. So here's the riser for the property. 35, 28, it's all lubed up properly, all done in copper. And then the bathroom's been done recently. And then we find this. And that wasn't on the drawings. So now we've got to operate on this speed fit, which no one likes. So yeah. Why would you do it in speed fit when you've got
railroad plumbing?
I don't understand it, because you've got plenty of joists to clip off. That pump could have sat here.
Tiff's been.
Tiff?
Yeah. It was plastic. Secondary returns in plastic, mate.
Jail.
Come on, Jay, yeah.
Right, end of day 4. Boost set's running. That's ever so quiet, that is. Really impressed with this. I'll go through more of that when we're all finished. All pipework's connected though. Looking good. Put a new gas line round. That 22 lever goes up to the Arga. So tomorrow we've just got the flue to core through and got there. Bricky's coming in tomorrow to brick that up, and then the electrics. But I'm really pleased so far how that's looking. Day 5, here we go. We're coming towards the end now. It's the exciting part of electrics and flue. So I've put a few spares in, one for boiler, one for divcons, and then I've put sockets in. One will be for my Vitodens internet box, which I'll mount here, and then I've got a socket here for maintenance purposes, chargers, drills, whatnot. Now, people always think, oh, this is really hard to wire in, but you got your main power coming in, and with these you can daisy chain. So we've got a power accessory here, and then we can daisy chain it onto the in of this one. So when I turn the power on, live will come out here to power this one, out on 40A and back in on 40. Likewise with the communication, this is K on bus because it's a commercial boiler. So out of this one into this one, and then we'll go out of that one into the boiler. And then this pump's going to be a towel rails. This pump power will go all the way back into the boiler. I've done the cable tray coming over the ceiling. And then I've got a cable tray over the back, over to here, and then I can go round to the boiler, tidy it all up, get it all cable tied and dressed. It will look quite nice. So this is a weather comp boiler, so I need to get a sensor on the north wall, which I think is that way. That will go out, and then all the controls will be through here. Now, one thing to remember with these when you do multiple circuits is you get these little switches here. So this is going to be our ground floor, so that's set at 2. This is set at 4. Don't ask me why, but it's in the book why it's 2 and 4, not 1 and 2. Very strange, but that's how it always is. It's a little table. So that's kind of how to wire it in. With these, you've already got a temperature sensor already inbuilt into the back of here. There's a temperature sensor. Pumps going in, mixers open. And it's also important when you do the power up and commission, that these mixer motor cables are the right way around, because obviously polarity will be different from testing. So you go into actuator test and just make sure underneath that the mixer arm is opening the right way, and if it's not, you just flip the cables around. So that's that bit done now. I'll show you inside the boiler when I do that. What the flipping heck is he doing? That's his man. Phew. Is that what BB stands for? Bricky Bill. Forget what day I'm on compared to what we were last time. But in a position now where I've got everything commissioned. I have had a delay on this item here, which is an AM1. This controller controls my unmixed circuit, my towel rail circuit, and the secondary hot water. So that one there goes to the towel rails, and that goes over to my secondary hot water over there. So the good thing about these is there's another couple of circuits that you can run. Your 145 I've put into this mixer here. Like I said before, you can piggyback everything with the 145, the KM bus. And then I've got power in, which I've used another few spare for. So if you ever need to isolate either towel rails or that pump in there, you can do so. So we're all up and running. Everything's working lovely. I had to turn some pump speeds down. I did say I'll poke into this. Now this is a bit of a mess. I've just need to tidy it up a little bit. So PCB, we've got the coding card for the internet here, which goes over to my Vitodens, which is there. We've got internet feed in, and then that's going over to the boiler on this white cable. That allows us to control and remote monitor. through app and the Vitodens platform, which is great. Got my hot water connections there. That goes over to the cylinder with my hot water sensor. Grey cable there is my outside sensor. I've got low loss header sensor in there. That's the KM bus, which I was telling you about earlier. That will go into here, piggyback to there, piggyback down to there. That can also include a controller if I want to put one on the landing as well. So something the customer's thinking about. With regards to pumps, that one is supplying my domestic hot water supply pump, and that one there is the main pump below the boiler, and that's also controlled 0 to 10 volt as well on PWM. Mains into the boiler, and then I've got this plug 96 here I'm using as a supply to the condense pump, which is sited below there. Also, what I've included on this boiler is a CO alarm. Now, because I'm running this as a Flue taking its fresh air from the room, I thought worst case scenario is I can shut the boiler off if there's any CO detected in here at all. I doubt it ever will be, because we've got a large amount of ventilation in both sides, but you never know. So that's interlock. So boiler's firing, goes off. It's audible as well, so shut the burner off. So yeah, it's compact in this PCB, but it just gives you such a good flexibility and control. So on the main control of the boiler, go into menu, into heating. You can see here we've got towel rails, downstairs, upstairs. So it's all different times. Lift that up actually. Different times, different temperatures, and different curves as well. I'm just gonna lift that up. So downstairs heating, for example. Ooh, customer has had a play, I think, or I haven't adjusted that one. In fact, I'm gonna lift that up a little bit more. Quite a drafty old house, this one. Lifting that, you can hear the boiler's just fired in. Now I know what's happening. I've done a reset on the PCB because I had a faulty coding card for the Vitocom, so I've changed that. That's why it's all gone back to how it was. Upstairs I'm going to put lower, and let's lift that to 12. Now Moon is saying it's out of time period, so it's in setback reduce mode, and that's because that towel circuit now is time to be off. I'll go off in a second. So as a whole now we are all finished. Saying that's just the lagging to be done. Just got to label a couple of valves up. I will say this boost set is absolutely spot on. Really, really impressed with this. Stuart Turner, first one I've used these iMatics. This has stayed at 3.5 bar on the outlet. Since we turned it on, it hardly makes a noise. It's so quiet. Really impressed with that. So yeah, I'll be using those again. Really impressed with how this frame's turned out. Good for maintenance, so I can get around the back. I can hide all my sins with the cabling. Like I said before, that's the box for the CO alarm. So he gets a live neutral nerf from that plug 96 where I showed a minute ago. That plugs into the CO alarm at the wall. And then that plugs into the PCB. Yeah, this frame, I'm really pleased how it's turned out. I was a bit worried about the angles on the roof, but it's managed to do it now. Nice. I'm just going to label these up. Billy kept on the gauges to plonk them around. Just waiting for the electrician to come and finish this off. But yeah, I think we're about there, up and running. Everything's working lovely upstairs. Shower's working fantastic with the pressure. So yeah, that's it for me. Please let me know in the comments, if you could, of what you'd like to see, because people have been asking me loads of questions about this. And I'd just like to be kind of led a little bit with what you'd like to see in the future and why I've done things. If there's anything I'm missing, please let me know and I'll try and answer as much as I can. Until the next one, see you all soon.